From Washington, D.C., welcome to this week's Harness Racing Alumni Show. I'm Freddie Hudson, and I'm here today, as always, with my co-hosts, Trade Martin and Bob Marks.
The Harness Racing Alumni Show, with your hosts, Freddie Hudson and Trade Martin.
This week's Alumni Show is brought to you by Bill Houghton, insuring standardbreds and farms for over 40 years. Bill knows the ins and outs of equine insurance. Make sure your equine investments are protected. Call or text Bill at 954-655-5547. That's 954-655-5547. Call Bill now.
Freddie, tell us about the yearlings at the sales by Huntington Farms.
Huntington Farms, selling their 2021 yearlings at the Lexington Select Sale, October 5th through the 9th, and the Harrisburg Sale, November 8th through the 12th. For more information, call 859-987-3983, Huntington Farms, or email huntingtonfarm@cs.com. This week's show, we're going to give a review and an update on the Federal Horseracing doping case. We are recording the show on September 14th, knowing that there is a status conference being scheduled for September 15th. Let's begin with, on the week of March 9th, 2020, a group of 29 people were arrested and indicted. They included trainers both thoroughbred and standardbred, vets, drug makers, and distributors. Bob Marks has prepared some questions for me. Bob, over to you.
What is the current status of this FBI investigations, way it stands now? Okay.
The investigation is continuing, and so far of the 29 indicted, 6 of them now have pleaded guilty. Navarro, Ryan, Kegley, Nangini, Robinson, and Isaiaki, or something like that. They changed their pleas from not guilty to guilty. Navarro will be sentenced on December 17th, and some of the others that have been sentenced, they have received hefty jail time, fines, and orders to pay restitution. If we look at Navarro, he is going to receive a sentence of 5 years. He has to pay $70,000 at sentencing and $26 million in restitution. Now, the $26 million will probably never be paid, but in the federal system, it's very important. Hitting that $25 million mark, it makes for stricter sentencing. So when he's sentenced to 5 years, he's going to have to serve 85% of that time. The other thing that is coming out now is that standardbred trainer, Nick Zurich, he seems to be at the center of the investigation, and it is said that Navarro was his doping mentor, and they only caught Navarro through his connection with Zurich, and also they are hinting that they might have had help from someone at the track in security or a regulator. And the regulator or the security person would warn them of upcoming raids and which races they were going to be tested on. So I expect more guilty pleas to be coming, and the evidence against these guys is just overwhelming. It's over 8 terabytes.
I got a question here. You mentioned Nick Zurich. I know he's indicted, but I noticed that he bought horses at a recent Illinois sale. How does that work?
Yeah, and he's also claiming horses out in Hoosier Park there. Not in his name, but I guess in his mother's boyfriend's name there. But it's beyond my comprehension. The harness racing industry needs to step up and give this guy a lifetime ban. Remember, he bragged about making Navarro horses disappear. And when you look at who he's been connected with, it makes you wonder if any of them were involved in this whole mess. But no, he needs a lifetime ban.
And I noticed something else. I see that a son of Chris Oakes is still training. You know, families do talk, don't they? It just seems a little odd to me under the circumstances.
Well, it's the same thing as with Zurich and Allard. Trainers and owners should refuse to race against them. Maybe that would be a start to going in the right direction in our industry and in these beard trainers. Everyone knows who they are, and we need to get rid of them. They need to go, or the sport can go.
By the way, what's on the immediate horizon as far as more arrests? Are there any?
Well, like I said in the beginning, this is an ongoing investigation. The FBI has never, ever closed this investigation out, so it's ongoing. When the first arrest took place, and that was the week of March 9th, I was in Washington, D.C. that week, and I was with Marty Irby and Hal Handel. You know, Hal is the former New Jersey State Deputy Attorney, and he was also a regulator for, I think he was the chief executive for the New Jersey Racing Commission and so forth. But he has worked with the FBI, and he said to me at that time, he said the FBI works in 3 sweeps, and this was the first one, and to expect 2 more sweeps of arrests coming. And then the pandemic hit, and everything was closed down. The FBI, Southern District of New York Justice Department, they couldn't put grand juries together. So now things are starting to turn to normal, and I expect many more indictments and arrests to be coming forward. The drug problem in both our sports is out of control. I have owners and trainers calling me every day saying that they've had it and that they are getting out of the sport. Bob, one of the guys that he called me up the other day, and I spoke with him for about half an hour. He's had horses since the 1970s, and he told me that he's out. He's selling all of his horses, and he can't handle the cheating anymore. My prediction, many arrests any day now. Hey, we have a call in, and it's Eric Potters.
Hey, Freddie, how's it going?
Good, Eric. Hey, I know that you sat in on the conference, the status conference today. What's your take on it?
It's just very interesting because, everything's being slowed down with COVID, but now it seems like, there was 4 indictments. It's now down to 2. And I guess the last plea, which had a trial date for November 3rd, is now going to become a status hearing on November 4th, and they're going to be setting a trial date for January. And I guess the issue now is there's 3 defendants that are in, I guess, the first, trial group. There's multiple trial groups.
She called them phase one.
Well, yeah, there's phases, but she's calling them trial groups. And correct. That trial group, I guess, is having issues with their trial going to trial, so they've asked for, this push to January. So now what's going to happen is discovery is going to become the focus and any issues with motions, and we're basically just going to go to trial come the middle of January. That's it. Correct.
And in the phase 1, it's Seth Fishman, Lisa Gananelli, and Jordan Fishman.
Yeah.
Those are the group. Those are phase 1.
Like their trial, and that came to play, and the government is, respecting everything. And there's some issues, I guess, with some of the discovery that's going on and some of the motions that are being put down. But basically, the motion to suppress is what the issue is right now. Everybody's enjoying together, and the government basically shows their cards, and now they're waiting for people individually with their representation to have, I guess, their responses to the government and what the government's basically shown, which everybody sees now.
Correct. And the other thing that I picked up and was that there's another trial going on where there was a conflict with court dates with Judge Carter, and the same people that are having this trial were supposed to be in his trial, and so there's something else going on. So I assume that's probably the Grasso indictment.
Yes, that's the 3 that we're talking about, that you
correct.
Referenced 3 people, but they referenced the 3rd group. So, you don't know, with these other people, there was only 11 people on this call, 3 people weren't on the call. So, who's grouped with who, and, it's bottom line, if you want me to cut it short, it's going to basically be the domino game now. Now that Navarro's gone down, you're going to see individuals going down one by one. Once all of the evidence starts coming out against them, they're going to see what they're up against, and people are just going to start pleading out. And you're going to see that stuff happen over the winter.
I agree with you. And Eric, thank you so much for your opinion over here.
No worries. Have a great day, man.
If you're buying or selling your home, Joe Rico is your go-to guy. Joe has been representing buyers and sellers on Long Island for 30 years. He is an expert in all types of sales. Don't settle for average. Call or text Joe Rico today at 516-524-4870. That's Joe Rico at 516-524-4870.
Fred, give everyone Joe's email address.
That's Joe Rico, C21 at yahoo.com. Crawford Farms, breeding the best to the best so that you can race the best. The Crawford Farms consignment will be selling at the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale on October 5th through the 9th. For more information, please visit Crawford Farms' website at crawfordfarms.com. On behalf of Trade, Bob, and myself, thank you for listening, and don't forget to tune in next week.
The Harness Racing Alumni Show